Okay, so you guys, welcome to my video today. We're gonna give you guys the update on what's going on in Sedona, Arizona, with my friend Julie. So probably the best thing to do is to start from the back, because that's where we're at now, from the back, and we don't really need to go forward. Just where we at in the back. Okay, so Julie filed. Well, actually, I filed it because they were giving her such a hard time. She filed. We filed, her legal team filed a complaint for RICO. I filed this in the court in Prescott. And that is against the foreclosure and the eviction situation. And we also filed that in the court of Prescott. The court of Prescott sent the case over to Camp Verde, where we didn't want to file. We could have filed there, it was closer. We wanted to file in the main court because the players over there are all connected together. They're all connected together. Okay, so Julie was concerned that since it got sent back to Camp Verde, there was going to be a situation. Well, the whole thing about what we're doing here is letting them see our face. We're letting them see our faces. So we drove over to Camp Verde to file the supplemental complaint, to file a supplemental pleading to add Linda Wallace, the judge over there that had been harassing this property owner for quite a long time. So we went over there to file a supplemental pleading. And the clerk supervisor, Heather, came out and told me, no, we can't do that. Or told Julie, no, she can't file a supplemental pleading. She has to file an amended. I'm standing there, and I don't think she realized. I don't know what she. So I asked Miss Heather, the clerk, if she was citing the local rules, which they made up themselves at each location, or if she was citing the rules from the Federal Civil Procedure. I don't have to talk rules with you. Off she went. Okay. So they made me change it to get it filed. I had to write a amended complaint over the top of my supplemental pleading. She didn't like the fact that I had the judge's name was over here. And so they made me make all these changes. Well, if you go to the Federal Rules Civil Procedure and you scroll and you go over to amending a complaint and you scroll down to the very bottom, all the way down to the bottom where that tiny ass number is, you will see supplemental pleading. You can file a supplemental pleading in a case without asking their asses for shit. Oh, and okay, to file a supplemental pleading. Okay, I know I'm a freak. You have to have a couple of things. You have to add a party, or account, or both, or accounts, and they all have to be connected to the original reason why you're there. Okay, and you can file as many supplemental pleadings as you want to. Oh, but not here. Okay, so when they do this shit because they're on their own program to steal your property. That's what the whole thing is about, in my opinion. Okay, when they do this, okay, you have to do the check down. You can't do the meltdown. Okay, I don't never let them see me sweat. They see me sweat when I show my ass back up. When I show back up the next day with the lawsuit against the clerk, supervisor, and yeah. Okay, so I actually filed it over in the court because I didn't want to deal with their ass. And when I got there, I told those people, here's a demand to change the venue and bring that case back over here where we filed it in the first place. Because I've done the homework, and the case can't be moved legally, judicially. You can do anything you want, administrative bullshit, okay? But you can't move the case judicially without the judge's order. And that means that the participants get an opportunity to object and voice their reason why they don't want to be over there in the court closer to where they are. Now, I'm just going to tell y'all ass right now why. The reason is because those players over there are all connected and looking out for each other. Okay, and this is just my opinion based off of what I've seen right here myself. Okay, so why would you want to shoot it over there? You know, over here at the main court. Why don't you just leave it there? What the hell's it matter to them? I'm the one doing the drive, or she, us. Okay, in my head, this is what it matters. These fools don't want to be held accountable for the decisions that they're making over there, the poor ass decisions that they're making over there. Okay, so Coach, what poor ass decision? Okay, so let me tell you. This is what they made me change it to. Now, over here, I initialed it and then Julie initialed it, and so when we did that, they both looked at each other. To check down. To check down is we're not leaving with the same shit. I'm not even taking it back if they act like they don't want to file it. I slide on the thing, it's y'all's, I'm on camera, you can do whatever the hell you want with it. Okay, but when we signed it right here, okay, you got to remember, the officer of the court has more authority than the notary public. The clerk, actually, the clerk has more power than the judge, but in the program they're using. Okay, so we just signed it, initialed that shit to prove that they made us do these changes. And then I asked him for a copy of this because, you know, I'm going to need a file stamp copy to sue their ass with. And I didn't think about it. When she brought me a copy, she didn't bring me a copy of the whole document. She brought me a copy of the front page. And I didn't notice it at the time. And actually, I didn't notice it until 3-4 days later when I drove all the way back to Kansas and I started putting the paperwork in the notebook binder and having it all organized so I could keep up with what the hell's going on. Okay, and this is what I found out. This is what they filed. See? They changed the name. They done away with all of this part of it. This is what they gave Julie to show it was file stamped. They didn't even file stamp it. Oh, now if I went to go file some shit like this, it didn't even have none of the stuff on it or whatever. Oh wait, they giving us a hard time because. Okay, so yeah, we're back. You know, we're talking about how they manipulate the system. But see, here's the thing: even if you remove Linda Wallace's name off the top, she's mentioned throughout the whole document. So I don't know how they think that's going to help them. But where we are now is that the parties have been served, or the party's agent has been served, Mr. Dennis McCrane, and we served his ass at his house. Because we may be suing him for his house before this is over. And he's the county attorney for most of the players. So we just, you know, you can serve the agent. You don't have to serve all of those players or whatever. You can serve their agent. Okay, but the problem here is Mr. Dennis has been added. He's a party to the case. We still serve the agent. But we need to know who Mr. Dennis McCrane's agent is because he's going to need to hire someone because he's party to the case now. And I don't think he's going to be able to represent all of those people that we have listed in the. Okay, so the last couple of people, Coconut Properties LLC and the Sheriff's Department from the Yavapai County, Arizona, they're probably getting served either yesterday or they're probably just getting served soon because their servers went out late. But you know, none of that matters because they all got the email. I email everything out to everybody. I also include in the email that I send out to these fools, I include the federal court judges and the federal court clerk, because we're about to be over there in a few minutes anyway. We're just waiting to see if they want to do the right thing. But we're not really sitting back and waiting because then we get a lot of shit done. Okay, so they decide they're going to go ahead and go on with the eviction case and throw Julie's stuff out in the yard and her shit out in the street and kick her out of her house, even though she has a federal lawsuit pending that came out of bankruptcy court or whatever and whatever. But you know they don't care about none of that. They don't care about the RICO that's pending against their asses right now or the supplemental pleading adding Judge Wallace. Oh, wait, Judge Wallace is not even a judge. She's a damn commissioner. She is not a judge. What the hell is a commissioner? Total bullshit. I'm just saying. In my opinion, commissioner is an attorney that they hired to handle this RICO operation over here. Okay, so we just filed illegal eviction counterclaim for RICO fraud, due process violation, and declaratory relief, and we included a statement of constitutional emergency. Okay, the statement of constitutional emergency is pretty badass because according to their rules, that forces the lower court to move that shit up to the higher court, the federal court, and that's why we already been emailing the federal. This ain't my first rodeo. This ain't my first rodeo. Thanks to the real-time feedback from a whole lot of people that have been up in here taking punches. We put this shit together. Read it and weep. BITs. Okay, but you know, right now, okay, and this is a mistake that I think we have been making in the past. Okay, to stop the eviction process, we don't even want to add nothing about the foreclosure. See the parties we got on here? Alicia Caldwell, Coconut Properties, LLC. That's it. And we just added her to the counterclaim. She's in the original. We add her to the counterclaim so we don't have to pay to stay and play. So we add her to the counterclaim, and now we're just suing her for civil RICO, and we can go back and we're gonna get. So we also added illegal eviction counterclaim, RICO, due process, violate state. Now, the factual allegations are the same, and we're demanding, obviously, we're demanding a hearing, and we file this, or at least this is getting filed today, to stop the illegal eviction process. And we're going to file this over in the court in Prescott. And we bring in more firepower than I think we need because that's how I roll. The think I'm playing. Okay? This is the beauty when you're working for people you care about. You're working for family or people you care about. Okay. So we also added a motion to disqualify and recuse Commissioner Linda Wallace for lack of judicial authority, conflict of interest, and demonstrated bias. Oh, y'all know I got that word off the demonstrated bias. Now comes the plaintiff's counterclaimant Julie Freeze to pro se and respectfully, I just need to take that shit out because I ain't doing nothing respectfully over here to these assholes. Moved the court for order disqualifying and recusing Linda Wallace from presiding over or ruling in or otherwise participating in any proceedings involving the plaintiffs, including but not limited to the pending eviction matter in Sedona, Arizona. this request is being remade pursuant to due process clause or whatever. And there you have your constitutional statement of emergency. Constitutional emergency because the named defendant in her pending civil RICO action, Linda Wallace, has placed herself in a position of judge in the very matter in which she stands accused. No principle of American law is more fundamental than the rule that no one may be a judge in their own case. Oh, that's a cool check down. Oh, we do it all the time. Oh, if you get the premium package, you just get to use the counterclaim. The counterclaim is already written as counterclaim in the premium package. You add the plaintiffs to the counterclaim, add them as plaintiffs to their own stuff in the counterclaim, and bam, and you get the $200 million counterclaim. You don't have to pay to file it. You don't have to serve these people unless you add the attorney's property, and then you have to serve the attorney's spouse. That's a signer on the property. Okay, sorry. We want to make sure that we're not a U.S. citizen. So she also affidavit of Julie Freeze in support of the motion to disqualify and recuse Judge Linda Wallace. Now, my friend Julie was a little nervous to go down there and file the stuff that she had to file by herself, but I did let her know that they got the emails already, so. And so she went down there and she filed her stuff, and she was so excited because they didn't give her any shit. None at all. Now, it's hard for people to see that there's any changes going on, okay? When you're doing this, well, it's not hard for me to see because I already know the other things that would be happening if you wasn't doing all of these things. But most people don't take that into consideration. They say, oh, I don't see nothing happening. Maybe they're going to foreclose on me, or they're going to throw it down. I don't know, maybe. But you know what? The time ain't up yet. Now that I'm like, the time ain't up. We made these yesterday, and they should be going out right now. So the time ain't up. No, the time ain't up. Okay, so I say this for last. One of the things that I told Julie when I started showing my ass up at these people's places and giving them copies of the RICO complaint, I didn't even have it filed in court. I just drove over to their house, and one place had to leave with the neighbor because Mr. Spencer Carwell drove up behind me while I was trying to get this stuff done. So I just left with his neighbor. I'm sure he got it. Spencer, if you didn't get it, ring me and I'll send you another copy if you want it. Right now, you just need to worry about your wife, Alicia, okay? Because what they did was I emailed them out a copy of a RICO that we're going to file in federal court. Now, we haven't filed that yet, but I want them to have that because you have to stop the state court process or they're going to stall, okay? Okay, so when I say, okay, a day and a half later, they have another process server, a fake process server show up. And I know, okay, the process server said, I'm a process server. Julie, you have to vacate the property. Oh, that's not what a process server says. I'm sorry, okay? Them people drop that shit off, your ass been served, and that's it. They trying to get the hell out of Dodge because they don't want to be there when you open that shit up. I'm just saying. Okay, so I told Julie that after we get this fire burning, they're going to pick somebody that screwed her over in the past to come back into the future. And they did. It sounded pretty stupid from what criminal shit or whatever. And she said, he's paid $50,000. I said, no, state people don't get paid that much. They sent his ass down here to get your ass under control. That happened before I got there, that she took because she didn't want to get locked them in jail and have them steal her house. Oh, could this all be connected? Oh, I had a very good friend of mine tell me one time, nothing's in the vacuum. I still don't know how they got But she made me understand what she meant. Okay, but I'm a coach, and I already know that people don't come in to some hot shit unless they think they hot shit. So I don't know how my friend Julie's situation is going to end.